Jerry, that old Jerry, that what we supposed to be doing in our single season.
I'm not telling you nothing you're supposed to be doing.
What you are saying what we supposed to do in our single season, what you are suggesting, what you are biblically speaking of, is that in our single season, we are not supposed to be masturbating. We're not supposed to be having unhealthy soul ties, having sex.
I'm saying what the Bible says and what I strive. So don't shoot the messenger. It's not Jerry's advice, what Jerry thinks. I'm gonna tell you what I did, okay? To answer your question. When I got serious, because there's like a for fake and there's like a for real.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much my flesh controlled me until I tried to control it.
See, that's me right there.
Yeah.
So that was me in 2020. I took a vow of abstinence, December 2020. I did it on my podcast. Now I was like, oh, this is cool.
Sex healing is a whole process.
Yeah.
I always go to the original agenda of what I think God's desire of it was. And I think we have to really know that the original design of sex from God was for sex to be a discovery, not an exhibit.
Break it down.
Okay.
Make it plain.
When it is an exhibit, I like this, do that, do this, turn me over like this, I like this. When it's a discovery, I don't know what I like. I don't know what feels good. Now, this is so countercultural.
It is.
Because it's like, nah, you got to be experienced.
Yes.
But the original plan of God was for there to be ignorance. Why? Because the journey of learning how to please each other will strengthen intimacy in that area.
Yes, it will.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, you like that. Okay, I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
You don't like that? I'm not. But it's being counseled by perverted professors and trying to do things that is a God-ordained institution is causing for people to not know how to please one another. So let's since you brought up, let's talk about masturbation for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the guy who's like, I'm practicing abstinence, but I masturbate.
Yeah.
You're training yourself how to please you, right? So when you get with the woman, when you have been training your mind, please you. She doesn't like this, she doesn't like that. Now, we don't have good sex. No, you have trained yourself how to please you. You see?
I hear a lot about that with women, especially with all these new contraptions they got.
Yeah.
The rose, the bullet, all that little stuff. Everything in the botanical gardens, they done made it a sex toy.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, it's like a man will never be able to lick you like a bullet does. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And so you have these unrealistic expectations because you created a device to pleasure you and make you orgasm in 2.3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the man, he trying his best. He about to throw his back out to try to compete with a toy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But I always say, but then you hear people say, well, a woman needs to discover her body and she needs to know that, especially in the state that people are marrying later.
Yeah.
So you have, normally abstinence was intended for teenagers. You know, these pinky promises and all that stuff, those were teenagers, and hopefully, back in our parents' day and age, they were getting married fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
Now people are getting married at 30s and 40s. So what, they expected not to test themselves, to have sex, and all these years while they waiting on Jesus to bring them a man, and most men aren't seeking therapy to get healed. And so now they're not even in that space that you were talking about, knowing their purpose and their alignment to be able to choose the right person to do life with them.
Right.
And so now they're waiting patiently for these men to see them and discover them. And they like, you know what, while I'm waiting on that, I'm just going to discover myself. 2 roses, please, and 1 bullet.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. So it's a conundrum that's happening, because a lot of people will hear this and they be like, what am I supposed to do all this time? I'm 40 years old and I'm waiting on a man to get it right and come choose me.
I mean, but at the end of the day, if you say, what am I supposed to do? This is what I'm going to do. It's going to affect your marriage when you do get married, because like you said, he's never going to be a bullet.
No.
He's never going to be a rose. So by default, already the sex will suck, because this is what I've been doing to keep myself. This is what I've been doing to please myself. And we aren't a vibrator.
Right.
We're not. And really, so the thing that I've discovered with marriage is learning what we like.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
And not projecting on the person, I like this, so you should.
Yeah.
So it's man, it can get deep.
or so and so did this to me, and so my expectation the whole time I'm supposed to be making love to you, I'm thinking about it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what messed me up in my previous marriage.